Good morning, everybody. Today's show is all about guns, these guns, muscles. We are at Oasis Gym at Eden Valley Service Apartments, and I've got a woman whose story is going to inspire you, motivate you, and hopefully get you to the gym sooner rather than later. Her name is Evelyn Owala, and she is the winner of the Arnold Classic Africa and, more recently, the Women Bodybuilding 2019 Africa Championship.
Yes, in the wellness category.
In the wellness category.
Yes.
I feel like I should start off by
Actually, I can see a bit of your muscle.
Well, I've been trying a little bit, nowhere near your levels.
That's
but
smart.
I feel like, oh, we're not there. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. When I was reading up on your story and trying to just do a little bit more research about you, I was stunned by what your story looks like, that you really started in a bank and then found your way in the world of fitness. So can you tell me about that? Were you playful as a kid, and did you go to the gym? Did you work out? Were you active?
Well, growing up, I was a bit of a tomboy, and then I think that energy just got covered up when you get to teenage and you're told all the time, you're a girl, you're a girl, you have to do this, you're a girl, and you try to be gentle with yourself until you learn properly how to be a girl.
Yeah.
But then when you later come out, grow up in life, and you've put in a little bit of size in your teenage, and everybody's always referring to you like the big Evelyn, you know.
Wait, you were the big Evelyn?
I was the big Evelyn.
When you say big?
Big, as a teenager, I don't know what size I would refer to, but I was chubby, I was round, literally. And everybody would refer to me as the big Evelyn. And I don't know, somewhere it hit me in a way. And when you're buying clothes, even as a teenager, you want to put on this baggy stuff and just cover everything up. So again, your teenage friends start making fun of you. You're putting on oversized clothes.
And at a stage where already insecurities are so flared up.
Exactly.
So I can only imagine.
Yeah, and when I grew up later, I was able to shed some of that weight just through running and stuff. But when I got married, my husband was already working out. He used to weight train.
Okay. Wait, I want to go back a couple steps.
Yeah.
So what got you jogging? Were you active at all? Or what got you started in?
I mean, I just wanted to cut some of that weight.
Okay, so it was just about weight loss.
Like many Kenyan women, you know, we resort to cardio. So,
So
I did it diligently, and I cut some of the weight, but then at some point it plateaued, and I was just there. Then
do you know the numbers by any chance? Like how much?
No, I was just working with my size, my clothes sizes, and I was reducing, and I liked the way I was looking on the mirror.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So then you meet your husband.
Until the day my dad asked me, "Are you sick?"
Oh.
You know, when you do too much cardio, then you start looking.
Let me tell you, Hazard, my mother asked me a few times, "Is everything okay?" When you start losing. People think here that the bigger you are, then the happier you are.
It's just an African thing, because I think, but right now the trends are changing, because it was more with our parents. Like, if you're bigger, you are probably feeling better,
happier,
and you are healthier, richer, everything good that they attach to it. But it's not the same nowadays anymore. Yeah. And so at that point, he was working out, and I decided, okay, let me just also do my normal jogging again, and my stomach crunches. Yes. Okay, so he used to go to the gym. Yeah. I'd, prepare for him his meals and everything. But one day he told me, like, okay, you can take me to the gym. You run on the treadmill. Yeah. As I do my workout and finish. But you see, somebody who's working out, who is weight training, is about to work out for 2 hours. How long are you going to run on that treadmill?
Weight training is a 2-hour workout?
Well, you do like maybe 1.5, 2 hours. You see, that's very long if you're going to be on a treadmill. So definitely by an hour, I'm so done with the treadmill, I don't even want to see it. And he's like, you could try this little weight here. I'm like, I'm not touching weight. I don't want to look like a man. The normal phrase that all ladies use. So I'm so familiar with those phrases.
Right.
But with time, he showed me, a sample. He asked you, what do you want to look like? Yeah. You struggle so hard. What do you want to look like? And then, you're pulling photos from magazines, Instagram. He shows you workout videos of those ladies. You're like, oh, there's so much to this body than just what you see. Yeah. And that's, with time you learn that muscle does not make you really look like a man. It just makes you have muscle gracefully as a lady though. Yeah.
I love that, and you're right, because there are certain phrases that can trigger women especially, and I think society bombards us with so many different versions of or words that we're supposed to align ourselves with. I remember personally in uni, I remember going to work out and for a couple of weeks, and then I came back one time and my housemate says, "Oh gosh, you better stop doing whatever you're doing because your arms are starting to look like a man's." And from then on, like a week later, I think I'd quit the gym.
Exactly.
A man? I don't want to.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes it can really get to someone. The good thing is that by the time I was going to the gym, I was so focused on what I wanted, and I knew what I wanted. So when I walked right into the gym, the first thing, I went to a trainer because I needed somebody to push me, and asked the trainer, "Please, would you be able to show me a few workouts?" And the trainer was like, "Yes, I would be, but what's your goal?" I'm like, "My goal is to have a six-pack." Then she laughed. Actually, she did laugh. And said,
"Oh, like, haha."
Yes. Then she was like, "I've been training here for years and I've never seen even a two-pack on me." I'm like, "Okay, definitely you're the wrong trainer." I moved on. I was like, "Let me do whatever I need to do."
So she felt the trainer was female.
The trainer was female.
And she felt that was impossible for a woman.
For a woman to get six-pack under normal natural circumstance. And because I knew it was not the case, I was determined to prove her otherwise. Yes.
So did you keep going back to that same gym, or did you find another?
I didn't go. I went to the same gym, just didn't go to the same trainer.
Okay. So meanwhile, where was your career at? Were you at the bank at this point?
At this point, I was at the bank. I mean, I worked in the bank for 10 years. It was an enjoyable experience that I needed to have today for me to be able to do everything I do today. And be able to think in the direction in which I think today.
Can you give examples of that?
Everything you do, you have to have strategy on how to execute it. And also, I have learned not to, you know, you can engage yourself in pity party and small things that don't add value to the grand scheme of things. So you learn what to ignore and what to have. You learn how to communicate and how to listen, how to, you know, just be there, and even to guide you financially, because I did it for 10 years, so it comes naturally for me. And there's so many other things. So you're at the gym and you decide, I'm gonna show you, and whatever stigma that people have around women who are strong, I'm going to shut to them and focus on myself. So what were your next steps when you started? Did you find another trainer, or did you do it on your own? No, I found, actually, my husband was very helpful because he would guide me in as much as I knew what to do generally, but there is a difference between generally and specifically. Like, just, you can walk into the gym and just do workouts, but there is a difference in how they are executed and all that, and the food, results, and what you can get, and him just cheering me on. You know, like, what I find funny is sometimes the person closest to you, the people who love you the most, are your biggest sabotagers.
Without them even knowing.
Without them even knowing.
because they say certain triggers or say words and you're like, am I not on the right track?
Not even that. They will even sabotage in love.
And
because
did that happen to you?
Apparently, my husband will ask you, like, what do you want? Is this what you want? Does it align to, you know, your purpose, your goal, what you think you want? He'll give you what you want, but he'll make sure you understand what you want.
But did you feel that there were people around you who were sabotaging, but they didn't really?
I felt that a lot, because you see, by the time I was starting to do this, most women in Kenya were not very aggressive in terms of working out and just trying to have muscle.
How long ago was that?
Maybe in 2012, 2013.
So
most women were not ready to show off their muscle or even work out to gain muscle. Most of them are going for aerobic classes. You know, you want to go for Zumba and stuff. Which is, yoga, you know, exactly.
Be graceful.
Which are equally good source of working out, but might not gain you as much muscle as weight training. And so you feel a lot of negative energy, even from trainers themselves, which is weird, because you'll find a trainer who would tell me like, oh, you want all that muscle, what for? Are you trying to beat your husband? I'm like, do you know my husband? How will I beat him?
Yeah,
He's tall?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And why do you think that there was that kind of negativity or lack of support?
During that time?
Yeah.
I think it was lack of information.
Okay.
It was lack of information and lack of understanding. Because when I went, like, there are times that USN Kenya would go around the country and just try to sensitize people about working out, nutrition and stuff. And you're there, you're talking to men aside, men will tell you, oh, we love the look of women who work out, they look amazing. And then you ask them, why isn't your wife here in this group? No. You know, the reason I don't want her to be here is, one, when she has muscle, she's likely to be aggressive. Secondly, when she starts looking good, she'll get stares and all that kind of. But one thing I want to clarify, and I keep on underlining this, muscle is not directly proportional to aggression. Somebody can be aggressive without muscle.
That's true.
Yeah, and somebody can have a lot of muscle and not aggressive at all.
Yeah.
So that is something that they need to understand. So just support somebody in their goal.
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to look lean, and it's a good look, why not?
Right.
After all, it will look like you're taking care of them.
Yeah. And I think times have changed, but we're not fully there yet.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of stereotypes
Yeah.
around. Are you sure you want, even for me, sometimes if I start to feel like I'm getting more toned in certain places, I'm like, am I too masculine? And I have to change that, even the kind
Slowly.
of language I use with myself.
Yeah.
So why was muscle something that you wanted to go for? Because, you know, you went from being what you said was big and overweight, you cut that, you were feeling good.
Yeah.
But why did you want the extra? Why did
The
you want to
muscle.
go the extra mile and go for the muscle?
I want it to be different. You know, like if everybody's working on a particular path that is aligned, all of us are the same. I don't know which one is more weird. If all of us are the same or if I'm different. I don't know. Struggling to align myself, I just want it to be me.
Yeah.
To come out of my shell. And because working out and being in shape brings out your confidence in a way that you will not imagine.
Yeah.
It also brings out your financial line of thought, it brings out your emotional stability, there's so much that is aligned to it than just, you know, working out.
Yeah,
You get what I mean?
I agree, because it's interconnected.
Yes, it's interconnected, and just that interconnection. And I tell even some people who feel they are accomplished, like there is some confidence you've not experienced. You know, like you know,
haven't pushed yourself physically.
You are exactly. So once you push yourself physically and you also get in that space, you will realize a whole different you. You will be reborn.
Right.
So my aim is to make as many people reborn as much as I can.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. So I started my journey a few months ago. Yeah. And I can say for a fact that I do feel that everything is connected. Yeah. How I sleep, where I am emotionally, mentally, clarity, what I'm even feeling about. Like if I guess what I'm saying essentially is that I wholly agree with what you're saying, that it's all interconnected. And
even like in terms of spouses, like you even decide, you choose your battles because you're too tired anyway.
I won't fight you on this one, okay? Not tonight, because I need to rest my I'm too tired.
I'm not ready for this.
Yeah.
And that way, you have a better relationship anyway, because you realize, like, you only fight the big fights.
Right.
You don't fight where's your toothbrush? Why did you throw this toothpaste here? Your socks yesterday was here. I mean, you just pick it. It's easier picking it.
Yeah, your fights. I do agree. It is therapeutic, and it creates a kind of clarity. Yeah. Yeah, so I love that. Okay, we've got to take a break. When we come back, we'll find out how she went from banking full-time to bodybuilding champion. We'll be back in a moment. Before the break, I think you were doing such a great job of explaining what working out does. But now I want to hear about how you went from banking full-time to wanting to make fitness a lifestyle, your career, your focus. Tell me about that.
My biggest interest was trying to change lives. Actually, I wish I prepared for it the way it looks. I think from outside it looks like I was really prepared for this thing, that I really did and had the strategy to it. I didn't have a proper structure and strategy to it.
Okay.
There were a series of events that happened that needed me to make a decision. And sometimes you make a decision hoping that it is the right decision.
Right.
And it was one of those. So when I submitted my resignation letter, you know, no, even if you talk to yourself about resigning, you are never ready for it. Even if you draft the letter, you are never ready for it unless you're mad on impulse.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So did you felt a sense of fear, or?
Yes, I feared. Everybody is always scared of something you can't see. But I was ready for this roller coaster, and I wanted to see what it has. After all, I had my papers, and I would go back to employment if I wanted.
Okay.
So I decided to quit my job, not because I had a client or I was really making money out of bodybuilding, but I quit so that I can be able to focus.
Okay.
Because if you don't do that, you are unable to focus. So I actually...
when was this? What year was this?
Either 2015 or 2016.
Okay, so like 3 years after your fitness journey.
Yeah. So I decided, like, let me just quit and start a fitness business. But I was interested in starting merchandise. I wanted to sell the merchandise first.
Okay.
But my first...
You're wearing part of your merchandise, aren't you? Yeah. Your pants.
But what happened, the first time I tried to order merchandise, I lost money. The money I got through pension. So I needed to focus on getting something that would work for me that didn't need capital.
Okay.
And the best I heard at that time was fitness.
Okay.
So I decided to venture into sculpting bodies. So I walk into a gym, there's this lady working out. I see she's very hardworking but doing most of the wrong things. And she would take years and years before getting in shape. So I walk up to her because I knew her from the bank. She was one of my clients. I told her, like, look, Rose, what I want you to do for me is, please, I want to train you for free, but I want you to transform, because through your transformation, I'll be able to tell a story about myself. Okay. Then she's like, I can't do it for free. You're going to charge me something. Wow. Yeah, so she was so kind, and in that space, I just went and calculated, what's my fuel cost. I just calculated basic needs and told her, and then she was like, okay, fine. And in 4 months, she gave me an amazing result.
So what were you trying to do? Were you also trying to build muscle? Or what kind of transformation was it?
Basically what she wanted to tone a little bit, and she wanted to just reduce, because she had just delivered and she had, you know, she was a bit big.
So this was the birth of Owala Health and Fitness.
This was the birth of Owala Health. And anyway, for me to start, let's say, for example, an Owala Health and Fitness page, I didn't start it really for people. Today, I run my page sometimes because I know there are people who depend on it for every day. But I started it for myself, for accountability. I wanted to be, for somebody out there to ask me, you didn't work out today, which actually always happened.
Oh, wow, so they were tracking you.
Yes, so
if
people
you didn't post,
yes,
they were like, come on.
Yes. And today there are people who will write to me, oh, you didn't post today, so I'm still waiting.
Right.
Yeah, for the motivation.
That's so interesting. So how did it go from then also training to wanting to participate in competitions?
After I had gained some muscle, you start finding people who would tell you, hey, you could compete. Okay. I'm like, yeah, I know. And then you go think about it, discuss it with my husband, and we get to agree we're going to do a championship, a competition locally. Yeah, we agreed we are going to do a competition, not that we are going to be the ones to put it up. The Kenya Bodybuilding Federation was putting up a competition, and he was like, okay, you can do it. So in our mind, in our space, it was just me and my husband making our own family decisions. What we had forgotten is that we had an extended family. And I went on a bikini on stage and was in front of all the papers.
So you didn't foresee, okay, right, because people don't, if you don't know, bodybuilders, you do go up in like very tiny, like everything
because we're
is
showing
on
muscle,
display. Yeah, exactly.
Because the
So
game is showing
you're like, we're just here to showcase body.
We are here to muscle.
Yeah,
in fact,
muscle.
you
right,
know, when bodybuilders are on stage, it's purely artistic. Like in my head, I'm just seeing muscle. I'm telling myself, this muscle is not pronounced this. Like when I see somebody, I don't see them like, oh wow, you know.
Yeah.
And my dad calls me, girl, you're naked. You're walking naked in Nairobi. I'm like, eh?
So even you had no idea, like you didn't correlate to you were just like, it's a competition.
First of all, it didn't hit me that there would be newspapers.
Right.
You know?
So now your dad's calling.
So I had to prepare myself ready for it.
Yeah.
And I had to explain to my dad. It took me 6 months to explain to my dad why I was in a bikini.
Yeah.
And walking naked in Nairobi.
Right. So actually, if you were to explain it to someone who doesn't understand why you have to be in a bikini, why can't you showcase muscle in a workout outfit like what you a sports bra?
First thing, would you go swimming in a workout gear? If you're competing in swimming, for example, would you go the way I'm dressed up?
No, you've got a swimsuit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Why?
You wear a swimsuit to go swimming. That's like
so
everything has its own workout.
That is the easiest.
But I guess my question here would be,
but also there is so much detail that you wouldn't see through this on my muscle. If you are judging like a group of people, of 40 people, or 30 people standing in this gear, you wouldn't notice the tiny muscles. Right. You get what I mean? Yeah. And then again, that is just how the sport presents itself. Like runners, they normally put on tiny shorts. Yeah. Then we have the swimmers.
In the gym, you're not in a bikini.
Yeah,
right?
in the gym I'm not in a bikini.
I can imagine
and I don't walk around in a bikini.
Packed. If you were like in a gym, like trying to lift that weight, it'd be like, what is she doing? So when you're participating in the competition, all you're trying to do is showcase all the muscle across your body.
Exactly.
So the less you wear, the better, because then you have.
Actually, there's a standard.
Okay.
It's not about just wearing less.
Yeah.
There is a standard for every category, what you need to wear.
Okay.
You get less or more, you are disqualified for it.
Oh.
Yeah. There is a standard.
Interesting.
It's not like I can decide like now to put on, a tankini and like let me not show this. Yeah. No, there is a standard.
So there's no room for modesty on that stage.
Well, that is our modesty.
Yeah, okay. So you participate in the first one.
Yeah.
How did you do? And did you feel compelled to continue with the competition?
I did well.
Okay.
And what happened is you feel like, bodybuilding, I feel like it's, I say it's a calling.
Okay.
Because it takes a lot of pain and energy and stress and discipline to be able to achieve that body you see. And pain. Sometimes you bleed, throw up while working out, and you're still just going on.
Have you done all of that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you're still, sometimes you're crying and you're training.
Yeah.
It's part of the game. And at the end of the day, you see, nobody pushes you to go for it.
Right.
But you feel compelled. You feel excited about it.
Yeah. That it is your calling.
Yeah.
So what do your workouts look like right before you go out for a competition? And also your diet? Do you have to shift anything maybe a few weeks before you participate?
Yeah, I normally diet for like 12 weeks.
So 3 months before?
3 months before, because the body does not just drop that way like that.
Okay.
But also, just off season, you try to keep as lean as you possibly can, which is sometimes a bit difficult because that's the time you have that small window to eat, bite here, bite there, and sometimes when it comes to workout, the workout is intense because for sure sometimes I have to put in a lot of cardio and also workout. So you might end up having around 4 hours of working out
a day.
3 to 4 hours of working out in a day.
How many days in a week?
5, maybe 6.
5, 6?
Yeah.
3 to 4 hours. So you do include like cardio and mobility work in your training?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then of course the weights and
then the weights. Yeah.
So so let's go back to food.
Yeah.
Because I know that's a big part
Yeah.
of what it is that you do.
Yeah.
Can you break down what your diet then looks like for during those 12 weeks? What do you cut out and what do you increase?
Basically, I cut out a lot of junk food.
Okay.
I prefer generally white meat because the body readily processes it. And like during your prep season, this is the time you just want to feel your gut is clear. Like whatever you're taking in, the ones that are being absorbed, and the ones that need to come out, it comes out. Because you don't want to feel bloated in any way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that takes away from, it takes away from like the competition. You can't be there bloated and you're like, there's a muscle in there somewhere. I'm just bloated right now.
Nobody will understand. And women are so complicated. Apart from that bloating from food, you can even bloat from
Period.
Yes, you hold up to 4 kgs of water.
Oh,
yeah.
So
during that period.
Okay, so you cut out junk. Can you, like, I'm hoping, I want us to be as specific as possible. Like, do you eat certain times in a day, certain meals?
I eat around 6 times in a day.
Okay.
6 meals in a day, but they're small portions.
Okay. And what would be on your plate, for instance, at lunchtime?
Probably chicken, vegetable, rice.
It's not that you're completely denying yourself of like foods, you're just very specific about the kinds of foods that you eat.
Because if you deny yourself food, you can't build muscle by denying yourself food.
Right.
You will not be able to grow muscle.
And after a workout, are you allowed extra carbs or extra something? Or
extra will come with extra baggage, girl.
So you have to be so disciplined.
Yeah.
And how many competitions do you have in a year?
It varies from time to time. This season, I'm more likely to have 4.
So let me do the math. If you've got 4 competitions in a year, and for 12 weeks, you're being very...
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole year that you're eating super clean?
Exactly, because I started like in January, because I was a bit big from December.
Okay.
So I started a little bit earlier. So in January, and I've been on prep throughout.
Yo.
We're in August, September.
Yeah. And you've got another one coming up in September. Is it September?
The weekend from Friday of the 22nd September, thereabout. Yeah.
Where is that?
Spain.
Ooh, girl. Win. Bring it home.
I am here fighting. Fighting for us.
Yeah, no, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Does it take a toll on your joints if you are, I guess, like lifting that many weights? I mean, that kind of heavy weights as often as you are. Does it take
what I do? The first years of my training, actually, I did a lot of heavy weights. But right now, I'm not doing a lot of heavy lifting. I'm doing a lot of technique.
Okay.
So and you can gain a lot of muscle. For ladies, you don't even have to be scared about the weight, but you have to know master the technique to know where to maximize your gains. So once you know where to maximize your gains, that's it. So that's what because I don't want to be like 50 or maybe like 60 and limping. So I opted to do lighter weight.
Okay.
But maximize on my technique.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I want to see what some of these techniques look like. I want to get some muscle building, toning tips from the expert. And we're going to do that after the break, so don't go anywhere.